This is for the nerds, this is for the brainiacs, this what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back, you ain't gonna touch me, you not gonna do nothing, you are not above me, I bet you wish you was me, I know it, I know.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Only Friends podcast. We're joined here by Chauncey Spragg. Finally got his own lower third. He's just hanging and banging in the background. My man, the tortoise.
What up?
He's here.
Wow, today's the day, huh?
Today's the day.
We got the NFL draft. We got the Golden Knights, Game 5.
That all pales by comparison.
Anything else going on?
Pales by comparison. Oh, the Pirates are playing the Dodgers.
Pirates are playing the Dodgers. They're currently winning, about to take the series.
That's right. Best team in the NL right now, in case you guys weren't following along at home.
Probably all of baseball. Maybe all of sports.
Maybe all of sports. Sports ball.
Sports ball, baby. Listen, get your bet in now. If you're good, listen, I'm telling you right now, get your bet in now. Pirates, they're 100-1 to win the World Series.
Lay the wood, baby. Lay the wood.
Oh, man, they just got another hit.
What other first place team have you seen that's 100-1 to win? I mean, they might be 100-1 to make the playoffs, to be quite honest. But hey, look, let's go. I'm here for it. I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. Guapo.
Yes, sir.
Welcome. We need you today.
Yep.
It's just the three of us.
Boss, I kind of feel weird about this late entry into the game today.
Go on.
I feel like the fix is in, man.
You think that you think them adding Lynne to the lineup is a telltale sign that I'm screwed?
I'm just a little nervous. I saw Doug Polk post that he's hanging out with the content creator himself.
Seriously serious?
Seriously serious.
That's right. They're working on something.
Yeah, the shenanigans are going to be there today, buddy.
Well, I'm not really sweating it for a few reasons. First of all, it was my idea to add Lynne to the lineup.
Okay.
Oh.
Little undisclosed fact.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Was it really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought Brent was just seeing how far he could push the limits. Like, how far can we before Berkey breaks?
Well, I mean, that might partially be true, but before JRB committed, he wanted to fill the 7th seat, obviously, and we were going through a list of people, and his idea was, let me find an ally for you. And my idea was, all these people who hate me really stink at poker. Find another one.
Yeah.
Like, find another one.
Right.
So we started to put together a short list, and we realized Ben was out of the country, so no blank checks would be written, unfortunately. Vertucci game's way too big for him. He's not coming out of retirement anytime soon for 248.
I mean, you got, I guess you got thick skin, and you like money, so. Yeah,
so I was like, you know what? Why don't you bring my sugar mama back?
Sugar mama.
Let's get a little of that side action going. Maybe we'll pull up an eighth chair if we have to, and that's exactly what happened. JRB committed, and Brent was like, you know what? Fuck it, we ball. We're gonna make it you versus the world, and I'm ready for it, man.
We're all ready for it, Burke.
I'm ready for it.
My
Like,
God.
Here's the way I see it. Like, there's gonna be a lot of poker to be played. It's gonna be a good time had by all. No one at that table is actually funny except Rob Young, who will dole it out equally to everybody.
Right.
So I'm not sweating the getting roasted or the needles. Like, Airball's going to call me a cocksucker 25 times. We're going to move on with life. Yeah. You know, it's not going to be that big of a deal.
The one-trick pony.
Yeah, the one-trick pony there. I'm sure Persons will give me the double birds at a couple points. You know, these things play out.
I'm actually rooting for the double birds. I love the double birds.
It's great. It plays out, though. You know, whatever. Get them off the stage.
Yeah.
You know, as long as at the end of the day, we got them 40 tower stacks.
That's what we want.
You know, it's growing.
Please.
That's what I'm here for today.
Teach some lessons. Remember back in the day when you used to put souls into your backpack?
Yeah, Goggins stole that shit from me.
Yeah.
I was pre-Goggins, man.
Yeah.
Nobody knows about me taking souls.
Walk out of there with some souls today.
Nick Howard tweeted the other day, I saw him at resorts. He was like cashing out with his girl at the cage. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? He's like, playing roulette. I'm like, okay, weird. And then he tweeted after he left, he goes, I walked past the heads up match. At this point, Nick Airball was buried, like, you know, down 4 and change.
Down bad. Down horrendous.
Down horrendous, yeah. And Nick tweeted out, he goes, I walked past the heads up match today. Nick Airball's soul has already been taken.
Oh man, yeah. I'm gonna be in the chat talking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not gonna come down and get drunk at the bar. It's a long stream today. I didn't know this.
Maybe I actually have a doctor's appointment this afternoon, but after that, who knows? Maybe
anything can happen.
I want to actually watch it. You know?
Yeah. No. Yeah. You want the whole cards.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that it's not a 6-hour stream. We're going.
It's a however long you want the stream to go stream.
Well, kind of, but they're already like planning 1 to 10 or 1 to 11. So it's going to be a 9 or 10 hour stream.
1 to 11.
Yeah, and then it goes live 3 to 2 in the morning. God damn it, John!
Gotcha.
You fucking got me earlier. Yeah,
got you.
I'm not your guy, Marley. Get your man.
No, it's probably the best I don't go to the studio, because if I did,
you'll be blacked out by 2 a.m.
I'd be at the table, on the table, maybe.
On it. The PokerGo put out a
screaming obscenities at Doug from afar.
PokerGo put out a flyer. It's Everybody Hates Berkey, and I don't think most people get the reference, but it's a sitcom reference to Chris Rock's show called Everybody Hates Chris, which I actually find to be hilarious. And what I find to be even more hilarious is that the majority of the people who see it don't get the reference.
They just think everybody hates you.
So they just think that like PokerGo's acknowledging
everybody's after Berk. Good Lord.
Oh man.
I mean, 90% of the table hates you, but that's
only half.
Yeah,
we're good.
That's true. I'm sure Jennifer Tilly is completely fine with you.
I did make her list
Rob
the
Young
other day.
Retired you, so he's happy with you.
Well, I'm back, baby.
Yeah, you're back.
Every time I play
out of
the
retirement.
Guy, the only time
coming
he
back
wins,
like Jordan wearing the 4-5. Let's go.
The only time Rob wins is when I'm in the lineup.
Yep.
Usually through me. My overpairs have not had a good history versus him. Mm-hmm. We have a light show today. It's gonna be short. It's gonna be spicy. I have a quote unquote 12 p.m. call time. I'm gonna try to get down there by 12:30. I don't want to do a lot of socializing, to be quite honest.
Why not?
Not a very social person. Not a real social mood today, Brian.
Nah.
You know? Not really feeling it.
Let's get down to business.
Yeah. So I'm going to make sure it's extra spicy for you guys. We're going to cover a few of the more spicy topics that have been flying around the Twitter sphere over the last few days, starting with the HCL stream. So it's impossible not to talk about this. A couple of things are worth bringing up. First and foremost, my man Airball looks a little deflated. Looks more like a flat tire than Airball. Mm-hmm. Wesley, the real king of LA, got Airball a little shook. Money might be a little tight. I'm not sure. This looked like a fear fold to me, if I've ever seen one.
Very fearful.
Airball with kings now. Wesley is 3-bet. Airball 4 bets. Wesley's deep. Airball's, of course, got him covered. Wesley with over $250,000. Wesley 5
is
bets.
The audio
Airball call
muted for the stream for them? Like, can I talk over this?
Oh no!
Okay.
Look at this. Got an interesting flop here.
Wait, why am I still
Wesley
hearing
could
it
have
then?
been like, I mean, he really
desktop audio is turned down. You're good.
Come out here and
Okay. All right. So what we see here is just your casual 5-bet.
Yep.
I think they're playing 50, 100.
The Jack 9 Diamonds 5-bet.
So they've each put in 300 big blinds so far. Turn queen. We just see a donk lead here for 50 big blinds. Standard, really, in a 5-bet pot. You know, the queen's really bad for the 5-better.
That's what I would think.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was like.
Yeah, really bad for the 5-better.
I was like, that's bad for him. I was like, okay, now Nick Airball can't fold because, Queens isn't there anymore.
Right. So now Wesley just says, you know what, I got quads. He's just going to go ahead and raise it to 600 blinds. No big deal. We're in here.
Yep.
It sounds like he's going to have...
No fear of the ace queen.
And then he has like another 1,000 big blinds behind.
Right.
They're just playing, just infinite deep. Just wild. What decision do we have here, man? You just put the man on aces and aces alone? Like you were betting to find out where you're at?
That's a pretty expensive. That's an expensive check.
He throws out the 5,000 like
Man, you can just check, homie. It doesn't cost $5.
I mean, if he checked, he still is going to face a big bet. But like, what are we doing here? Like, we're just convinced that kings are no good.
Get him.
Artist.
Got him. Got him.
Got his ass.
Did he take a bathroom break after that?
He probably took a little bit of a break. Maybe had to go have a smoke. I mean, like, this guy claims to be the king of LA, man.
King of something.
He's out here saying, I want to play deep stack poker. Well, here you go. Your 2,000 big blinds effective.
Mm-hmm. You get jack high, windmilled into your face.
Yeah, windmilled into your face. Got the jack high. You had the guy drawing stone fucking dead. He has 4 outs to victory.
Yep.
What are we? Let's peel one. You know, maybe let's not put 5. What were you hoping to accomplish with that 5K?
Just slow him down.
Yeah,
not a raise.
Seems super expensive.
Were you not hoping for the raise?
Just slow him right down.
You got kings, not king jack high. What's going on here, guy? Yeah, I mean these down bad plays are that was a microcosm of what I've been facing in our heads up match. I actually played a hand against him where he did something equally as dumb, where bottom pair paired and he just like led with middle pair, which is never a thing. It's literally I looked afterwards. I was like, I'm pretty sure that wasn't a thing. I looked afterwards. Yep, 0% leads. Not 0% leads with range, but like with his hand.
Right. He finds those 0% a lot.
Yeah, he does. Maybe he is an artist. Maybe he really is an artist. The man knows the parts of the game tree that like you should just never do, and he doesn't.
Maybe it's 0.000001, and he rolled a 99.99999.
Right. Yeah. He has the 1,000-sided die. Really getting into the weeds, trying to make sure that he's super fucking balanced.
Right.
He's the Jackson Pollock of the poker game. That's for sure. Just very random. Just let's just throw it out there and see what happens.
Oh my god, man. I mean. I'm not going to try to dissect this anymore. I just wanted to highlight that the man sucks. And I think that hand does a great job of it. But here we are. Going a little bit deeper.
There'll be more examples in the future, I'm sure.
Yeah, plenty more to show off. Just stay tuned today from 3 p.m. till whenever on Poker Go's YouTube channel. I promise you. Oh my God. I promise you, you're going to see some shit.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
The other thing that I think is worth discussing, I wasn't sure if this was worth having a conversation over, but then it got like a ton of fucking traction. The other day, Rob Young interviewed, not interviewed, that's not fair. He did like speed questions of Ryan Feldman, and the first question he asked was, what likelihood do you think that Robbi J. Lude cheated? And Feldman, shockingly to everybody watching, said 40%.
Question, so I thought I'd ask him.
All right, let's do it.
Quick fire. You've got to answer truthfully. Number 1, did Robbi J. Lude cheat?
I don't know.
What percentage chance?
Man. I say 40.
Who's your favourite?
40.
It's a pretty high number.
That's a very high number.
Pretty high number.
It's a very high number. So the thread continues on Twitter as he's getting roasted. So first of all, I quote tweeted this and was just kind of like less so making a point that he said 40%, because like whatever, man, people speak hyperbolically sometimes. Like I'm never gonna hold someone's feet to the fire for something like this. But what I found to be puzzling, to say the least, is if you watch to the end of that video, Rob presses him on who does he hate most in poker, and eventually Feldman says me. And I just like quote tweeted this and I said, imagine thinking there's a 40% chance that your stream was cheated and then hating the guy who pointed out the obvious.
Right.
Which is like the most absurd thing in the world to me, that the entire HCL crew and everybody over there thinks that I'm the enemy simply because I was asking for stricter protocols and for them to take a fucking day off.
Like if their shit was so locked down tight, then like that number 40 would never even be considered to cross his mind, right? Like it's just like, oh no, everything's perfect. It's like maybe like somehow it got through. I don't know, 1%.
Well, I mean, everybody knows what the report said.
Of course,
it's it basically indicated that it's unlikely that there was cheating, but there were a lot of points of failure where cheating could potentially occur.
Right.
And then there's the whole loose end with Brian who took 15K off for stack. Whatever. Like there are points of interest that make this story still very unsolved. And honestly, him throwing out a percentage is very reasonable. Like it's certainly a non-zero percent. Or sorry, a non-zero chance.
Right.
And he understands that, and that's a reasonable take for him to have. 40, in my opinion, is quite high for the person running what they deem to be a secure stream, especially when the reaction thereafter is we're not shutting down. So like that's the big point that I want to emphasize is they hate me for asking them to do their due diligence and close shop until things are resolved. But now they're willing to say that there was a 40% chance that this woman cheated on their stream and that they continued to operate for 6 weeks thereafter, unchanged.
Right.
The entire system unchanged until the report was finally released, and then they started to do things that were suggested to shore up the security.
But we're the bad guys for pointing out these failures. I don't know what you want to call them.
Right. Like, I'm very, very confused at why I'm the one who is demonized in all of this. I have no skin in the game. I just want to see a properly run stream that's relatively secure.
God forbid.
And, Chin's in the chat saying Feldman followed up in the tweet. His follow-up's even worse.
I have it up if you'd like to put it
Please. His follow-up's worse because it clearly exemplifies that he doesn't understand probability. He goes on to say that, like, he should have said... obviously he should have given the political statement of like, I don't believe any wrongdoing had occurred, although it's a non-0%, whatever, right? But prior to this long-winded statement, he had a back and forth with like Nick Howard where he said something to the effect of, you can't assign probabilities to these things because it either happened or it didn't. It's like, what are you, an old man at the table who thinks you either flop a set or you don't? Or you either win or you like every hand is 50-50 because you either win it or you don't. Like that's not how Bayesian probability works. We absolutely can assign a percent to things because there's a probability attached to every event. Just like there's expected value attached to like every decision that we make. These things, they're not easily quantified, of course, and they're mostly speculative. But it's certainly not 0 or 100. I mean, yes, those are the binary outcomes that we're estimating, but there's certainly a sliding scale of probability and likelihood that it is one of those two binary outcomes, right? So, of course, like he walks it back and he kind of tries to cover his ass and, do the whole PR bit. But I don't even care. I truly don't even care that he threw out that number. I don't care that he's walking it back. I don't care about any of these things. The only thing I care about is the hypocrisy. The sheer and utter hypocrisy of wanting to see like me just stop and not mention it and give them their props and elevate Hustler and say it's the greatest stream of all time and acknowledge like all the good things that they've done, which for what it's worth, I do. It's just like the sheer hypocrisy that you truly believe that something nefarious could have happened that day at some frequency, and then you still chose to operate for 6 weeks. How much money could they have made over those 6 weeks that was worth it to risk millions of dollars of their consumers in an unsafe environment?
Yeah.
Right. And now what's coming up? 5 days of $1 million buy-in where there's going to be 10 to 50 million in that room on a table where we're just supposed to trust. We're just supposed to say, guys, they got this one. And look, to be fair, everybody who's willing to play in that game knows what they're fucking signing up for at this point. It's very different than prior to the Robbi situation where it was an unsecure system and nobody had any intimate knowledge of what was going on. At this point, everybody who signs up, they are speaking with their pocketbook saying, we trust Ryan implicitly to run a safe stream. And for that, God bless. Do it. It's going to be successful. It's going to be the biggest thing that happens pre-World Series for sure. Might be one of the biggest things that happens all year. We don't know yet. But like it's going to be a massive event. And God bless, it goes off without a hitch.
Right.
But imagine if it doesn't.
Yeah.
Imagine if we have some sort of Robbie J. Lude speculation type of thing during this $1 million cash game. What a fucking nightmare.
Would be.
Right? Like,
I mean, to be fair, they did make some changes, right?
Yeah. No.
Right.
They did a great job, at least to my knowledge. I haven't toured their facility.
Right.
I don't know much outside of what they publicly released. I still know that they have some issues that I personally find to be problematic. Ryan and Nick and the basically production handles the cards. I think that's a problem. They still don't have the no peak option, where Ryan is operating off of God mode, I think that that's a problem. But like, if the patrons,
it seems like the no peak mode is just a no brainer at this point.
Yeah, I mean, look, I get it to some degree. Actually, I don't get it. Honestly, what makes sense to me is that Ryan plays in the game after stream, and it just seems very helpful to watch hours upon hours upon hours of the people that you're going to play with. But maybe it is necessary for production's sake. I don't know why, when no other stream house needs it for production's sake. But like, again, their patrons are deciding that that's fine, that they trust the operator, and that's fine.
Has Ryan addressed this, by the way, as far as why he doesn't use the no peak option?
He claims it's so that he can get better shots.
Better shots.
Yeah, because they have a roving cameraman.
Okay.
But I just don't see how knowing the hands matters, right? Like, you just see who has cards, and you tell the cameraman to, zoom in on whoever's action it is.
Well, as a player, doesn't that seem like it'd be giving off information? If you and I are sitting at the table and all of a sudden I see the guy who's standing around with the camera automatically walking towards you and I, it's like, someone's going to have a hand here, or someone's going to get cooled off.
Yeah, there's a lot of timing that they have to be incredibly sensitive with.
Okay.
Right? Like, to that end, that he can't preempt things. He can't be like, okay, seat 3 has kings when it's like seat 4's action. Like, he can't basically just like radio over and say like, okay, seat 3 in the big blind has pocket kings, and seat 7 has 10s. This is going to be a big pot. I need a camera on 3 and 7 or whatever, right? Because like now immediately you just know that there are hands there. And so I don't know what production advantage it offers.
Right, and most of the big stream houses that use this software, like Lodge, Live at the Bike, they have chosen to use the no peak option, right?
Yeah, Live at the Bike's been no peak since possible.
Right. So it's almost like you're prioritizing a better shot over a safety measure.
For sure.
Yeah, which is
for sure
is
but again
unreal.
Again, like let's be clear. The patrons are okay with that. Everybody keeps showing up and saying like, we trust Ryan, and that's totally fine. I'm not trying to poo-poo that. I'm just pointing out the obvious, that I still think that there are some things that they can get a handle over if they so choose to do so. Yeah. But yeah, they did separate the control room from the broadcasters, as far as I understand. There's not easy access to the control room as there used to be. During the investigation, we heard there was a point where like Airball was in the fucking control room while he was playing on the stream, and like there was that audio recording of Ryan telling everybody to get out.
Right. These are all good things. These are definitely all good things. Yeah. It's like, we don't want to say like, hey, like you guys are doing nothing. Yes, you are doing things, but like there are some other things that you easily still could be doing. But yes, the stream is definitely more secure now than it was prior to the hand.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I just found it to be so comical. Like, I think it's hilarious that the people that we've been scrutinizing the most are publicly embarrassing themselves day over day on Twitter. Like, it's just like the more pressure you put on them and the more that they talk, the more they just fucking crack. It's like, he jumped in the thread with me and Doug to talk about the old Live at the Bike scenario where he went on Facebook Live or Twitter Live or whatever and just like fucking tore me and Josh Michello apart, basically saying that we were the sole reason that the game fell apart and all this other bullshit. It's like, you didn't have to get in that thread and rehash that, man. You're only going to make yourself look silly. Yeah. It's like, what are you guys doing? You just keep talking and like, same thing with like Lynne in the Spaces. It was like somebody handed her a golden shovel. It's just like, whew, shh. I'm not deep enough yet. Let me make sure that you never find me. And it's like now Doug's kind of doing the same thing with the Jay Nandez stuff. It's like Jay Nandez just continually keeps posting receipts. He keeps posting over and over and over again the ruling from the arbitrator that says his countersuit was awarded, and therefore Doug has to pay, lawyer fees or whatever, partial lawyer fees. He ended up paying $150K, right? And Doug just like keeps trying to manipulate the language in such a way that's
nobody's at fault.
Yeah, like that's technically not true.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, okay, maybe like on a technicality, like what you're saying is correct, but we're lay people. So as lay people, we're going to continue to say that like you lost this suit unless you can demonstrate to us otherwise, because he's showing me a piece of paper that says he countersued for breach of contract and was awarded a settlement. Right? So if that's the case, then it sounds like you breached contract, man. Like, what am I missing here? And it's like, okay, maybe there's more to this story than is public, but I think Doug, like, getting into a thread and replying 12 times or however many fucking times he replied without ever being specific about anything. And then Jay Nanda is just like coming right in the same thread and going like, paperwork here.
Yeah.
Like, here it is, man.
Right.
Here it is. What are we doing? Like, how much are these guys going to continue to bury themselves? I don't understand. It's such a weird look. It doesn't make any sense. Like, when you take an L, just fucking take an L.
Yeah. Right.
You know, when that Live at the Bike thing happened in 2017, I felt partially responsible. Like, I didn't have enough cash on me to play in what I considered to be a killer lineup. And even though I told Ryan many days in advance on air while doing commentary that if I didn't win, I wasn't going to play, there was still the element of like, well, maybe he's right. Maybe the game did fall apart because of me or whatever the case may be, right? I just disappeared. It's like I put up a tweet and said like, look, I'm going to take responsibility for my part in this. I apologize for the game not getting off and, you know, Godspeed. And that was it. And I just took an L for like a fucking month. Mm-hmm. Videos start rolling out. You know, it's like you're a human punching bag. It might even been longer. I think the time between when that happened and when we put out the response video was like 6 weeks.
It was a while.
It was it was like mid to late December when we finally put out the response video of Doug Polk retired me, which, by the way, shout out to Pigtails. Best work they've ever done.
So good.
I mean, it was just like, that was one of the ones where it was like, oh, I'm so happy we have this team. Mm-hmm. Cause like, it's, for me, like that's the saving grace of all this. It's like when these beefs pop up and there's a lot of shit being flung back and forth and there's partial right, partial wrong to each side and everybody's stubborn and dug in and, you know, picking teams and whatnot. If you can find a way to just be self-deprecating, just like call it, it's just like that just seems like the easiest out.
Yeah. And I mean, like you said, you got Pigtails, they're professional comedians, so it's like they're gonna just make it amazing.
The piss cups was God, the piss cups was so good.
Oh, the piss cups.
I asked him what's in the cups. He said piss. There's a bathroom right there.
Oh man.
Everybody's finest acting job.
Oh, you know what? That's a solution for Airball.
Oh yeah. I should
bring a sleeve of solo cups.
My dad used to get these for when we went camping, because they're like you tent camp or whatever. There's no working plumbing, and they're, I don't even know how to explain them. Oh my god, this is gonna hurt. They're almost like kitty.
He's dug in, isn't he?
Yeah, they're almost like kitty litter in a bag. So like if you're traveling or you're on the road or you don't want to stop, you can literally like just piss in these things and it just absorbs. I just saw myself do that. That was
interesting.
Hilarious.
So it's like a diaper.
No, you don't wear it.
Well, no, but I mean,
it's like a piss bottle that isn't going to stink and you don't have to throw out your window.
Yeah.
You know? Did you ever hear about truckers doing this shit?
No, but that makes a lot of sense.
I don't remember. There's like a name for it or whatever, but they like piss in the Gatorade bottles or whatever, and then they chuck them out the window and they, blow up on a car or whatever.
Oh God,
that seems
piss bombs.
That seems unlucky for the person that takes one of those.
Yeah, you don't want to take one of those to the face, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know why it's so hard for some people to just. It's funny because this is what people think you do. People think you can't admit when you're wrong or take an L or you're just just always right, that kind of person. And like, I mean, look around. Yeah, like I don't know why they have such a hard time taking the L or just being like, listen, okay, yes, this is how it went.
I was talking to Danielle about this yesterday, and I realized that it's a big product of like so she's from Cleveland, you and I from Pittsburgh area. It's a big byproduct of growing up in an area that's like entrenched with pride for like where you've come.
Yeah,
we all speak so hyperbolically, right? Like think about your parents and like everybody back home and how often they say things like always, never.
Yeah,
points are
like
exaggerated.
The Pirates are winning the World Series this year.
Yeah,
it's a little hyperbolic,
right?
But deep down, I got it.
Right, but like that's what we do, right? Because we have conviction and and it's both good and bad, right? When you're talking about like your character and who you are as a human being and like your vision for your life and your purpose and all these other things, it's good to have that conviction, right? Because it's not really up for debate. It's just how you view the world and the life that you want to live. But when you're dealing with like opinions that can sometimes be misconstrued as fact, having that same level of conviction rubs people the wrong fucking way if they're not on the same wavelength. Right. Like, you know, Danielle, I've never heard anybody misuse literally more than her. Like, literally everything is literal. But it's almost on purpose, and you know, like my friend group in general, that's the way we speak to each other. We speak in a lot of in a very hyperbolic sense where shit gets exaggerated. We can read between the lines. We understand. Sometimes it causes a little bit of pushback, and like that's the fun of it. You know, when you get on the mic and you do that, people just think like, oh, this guy's a fucking know-it-all, man. He just is so confident in everything. It's like, I'm up here having a good time, you know? Oh. If it sounds like I'm saying things with conviction and it's in this tone, just know that it's like, you know, 40% I even believe half the shit that's coming out of my mouth. Like if I soften my tone a little bit.
40%, huh?
Yeah. You're quick. But you know, it's like if I soften my tone and I posture a little bit and maybe deepen my tone a little bit, and I'm talking very seriously of like, look, stream security is something that we should have a concern. What I'm about to say is going to be very confident that I'm on the right side of this. Like I've done my due diligence. I understand it's not for the audience to know that. Yeah. But like if you're sticking around long enough, you're going to start to see the difference.
Yeah, like when you're talking about basketball players from the 1990s and you mix the two of them up, it's probably
yeah, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit, man? Yeah, you know, it's like they were both short and one of them won the dunk contest, I think. Like whatever. You know? You got to do what you got to do.
Right.
Man, I don't know. I don't have a ton more to talk about. I guess we can preview this lineup a little bit before I get out of here.
Yeah, let's do that. So
we have a bit of a mix from the previous sessions earlier this week, and then obviously we have a whole new cast. So Tilly is back, Rob Young is back, and I guess you can say like JRB is back because he played a lot of the bigger games. Actually, he played yesterday too. So I think he's actually played most of the sessions. So those three and myself are all back for our second or multiple goes of this season of High Stakes Poker. And then the 4 additions are going to be Person, Person, Doug Polk, Airball, and Lynn, which is quite the dynamic.
Yeah,
it's quite the dynamic 4.
Who do you have the least experience playing with out of that lineup?
Great question.
Probably Tilly, no?
No, Doug.
Doug?
I've only played with Doug twice.
On Live at the Bike, maybe. Was it Live at the Bike?
Once on Live at the Bike. Where did I play? Oh, sorry, twice on Live at the Bike. Did I ever play with him prior or anywhere else? I'm trying to think. I don't think so. Yeah, I think only twice on Live at the Bike I played with Doug.
You never played with him like in an off-stream game or anything like that?
No. So yeah, I've only played with Doug twice. Oh, I played with him at Poker Go once for Rumble in the Jungle Week.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah. So I played with him 3 times. I played with Eric probably a half dozen times now. Various stakes, like, you know, massive on Live at the Bike. We used to play 100, 200 at Bellagio.
Yeah. How many times have you played with Tilly?
A lot, actually. Really? Maybe 6.
Maybe same as Persons.
Yeah, we played a handful of stream games, and then we played a couple off-stream games at Aria, a couple off-stream games in Florida. Yeah, maybe a little bit more than 6, actually.
Yeah.
And then I've played with Rob a lot. I've played with JRB a lot, of course.
Yep.
I've obviously played a lot with Airball, and
Lynn.
Played plenty with Lynn.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's not a new group to me.
Right.
I'm wondering if there is anybody there that has very little. So I don't know if Doug and Eric have ever played together. Yeah.
Probably not. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that might be a first. And
ever at the lodge, maybe?
No, Persons I don't think has traveled for anything like that. You have to remember, Eric hasn't been playing like.
Oh, he's very new onto the scene.
Well, I mean, regarding high stakes, like he
I mean, for as far as like on streams.
Yeah. He was splashing at like Bellagio 10, 20, 40 for a while.
I don't think a lot of people knew who he was until he dropped the double birds on. On
very true.
Helmuth. That kind of put him on the map.
I got to tell you, I miss his old persona when he was just a guy who came and bought into the Bellagio 100-200 game for $500K and threw a fucking party. He was a lot of fun and nice guy to interact with, and now he's really out there engagement farming and trying to start a war, I guess. So,
hey. You want a war? Okay.
I don't really want a war.
It's a pretty good Scarface on that.
Thank you.
Not too shabby.
Real proud of himself. So yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a lot of fun. I do have a fair amount of history with everybody at the table. I think seat draw will matter a lot, both from a game dynamic and.
So they do that when you get there?
It's all random. Yeah,
it's all random.
It would be wild if like.
What's the god seat? If you could choose.
I mean, you would want Doug on your right?
No, I would want him across the table from me.
As far away as
literally
possible.
as far away as possible. I mean, if he could sit at the bar, that would be great.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. But all right.
That would be my dream. Yeah, honestly, I think you could fill the table out however you want, as long as like Doug and I split it. Yeah. I would prefer that he was like directly across from me and as far away from my ear as possible.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, outside of that, I think that it's kind of whatever. I don't know that there's really a god seat. Like, I mean, maybe I would prefer to have like Rob and Eric to my right, just because the game's big and they play so many fucking hands. Mm-hmm. I'd rather be isolating them than having them like complete action in a 6-way pot.
Yeah.
But outside of that, yeah, I don't really think that matters too much. I think the seat draw is a lot more interesting from a social dynamic standpoint. It'd be wild if like the 4 of them just sat together. If it was just like Lynn, Doug, Airball, person, like just all in a row. That would be very weird. I think it's also going to be weird to like, I've never seen Airball and Lynn in the same room before. So I think it'll be very weird to like see them like playfully interact with one another.
Right.
When I know that, it's mostly just built off of a business relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like that stuff always strikes me as like very disingenuous and cringe. But I don't know. We'll see.
Did all your coin flex swag come in?
No, I'm not going to do that, man.
Oh, all right.
I'm not going to do that. Like,
coin flex.
He knows what's hanging over his head. It's up to him to own it or not, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't need a coin flex patch to remind everybody that this fucking guy was a part of a massive rug.
Yeah, I mean,
happens.
Do you think that like do you think that it's gonna be just like nonstop chatting and coming after you? Or do you think this is like it's gonna start out that way and then die down, or do you think
it's a long stream?
Yeah.
Like
right.
How do you troll for like 6 or 7 hours?
That's what I mean.
Like it's just gonna get...
or maybe it starts out slow and then all of a sudden it builds up and then it dies.
So you're
down.
asking me for my read on their trolling strats.
Yeah.
All right. So here's my read on the trolling strats. I think Doug is a volume guy.
Right.
I think Doug
he is, because he has to be. Eventually he'll hit one.
Yeah, I don't think Doug is naturally very funny or witty. I think that like he's very good at being like taking time and sitting down and like coming up with what works between him and his team and whatever else.
He's gonna be prepared.
Well, I think it'll be like an NFL game, right? Mm-hmm. He'll have the first drive scripted.
Yeah. And
like those will be the heavy hitters.
Right.
And then from there it's just gonna be a game of volume where he doesn't care what lands and what misses. It's just a matter of like just getting that verbal diarrhea out there as much as possible, right?
Get that one. Yeah,
you get one zinger
that you can clip out.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think he's going to be a volume guy. I think Persons is going to be just consistent, right? Like I don't know that like timing is necessarily his strength or weakness, but I think like the message will just be consistently the exact same. Like I imagine he will make fun of how much I have in front of me no fewer than 25 times.
I actually think Person's going to have more beef with Airball than anybody at the table, because I feel like they have the biggest egos.
No, they're
really?
friendly.
I kind of feel like Person and Airball are going to go at it.
No, they're friendly.
What are you buying in for?
$100K minimum.
Oh,
whatever the minimum is. If I can buy him for less than the minimum at this point, I'll do it just to fucking troll.
You're sitting there.
I might help you with them.
I was about to say,
legitimately might help you with them.
Just play down and sit there with 20 bigs.
Honestly, I might like if I get into a big spot, I might go all in minus a 5K chip and then just sit there with the 5K chip for like orbits. Not because I want to or I think it's a good strategy, but just because now I'm a part of the meme and I'm willing to do it.
Oh man, you won't do that. There's too much money to be made.
Yeah, there's way too much money to be made. So I think that Airball is. I think he's very unoriginal. So I think he'll be super erratic with his shit talk, right? Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be consistent verbal diarrhea out of him, but it'll be like based off of his emotional feelings in the moment where the shit talk is coming from. So I think there'll be like the hyper aggressive shit talk, the suck a dick for a buy-in shit talk, all the way down to him making fun of my shirt or some shit like that.
Nice shirt. That's the one you're wearing?
I like the shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
And then Lynn is
very
a wild
spring.
card. Thanks. Pastel. These are my colors.
I'm gonna cut you off, dude. If Lynn Lynn should just not say anything.
That's why I said she's a wild card.
Clearly not her strong suit. Just don't say anything.
Well, here's the thing. Lynn and I have played a lot together, and our banter is usually like very, very sharp, like very quippy. We kind of like are a little self-deprecating, but also take shots at one another here and there whenever it's appropriate without ever doing too much damage. I think she's a big wild card in the sense that we are not going to have that relationship today. Like that bridge is burned.
Yeah.
So I think that there's a chance that she goes the route of, I haven't done a good job of walking all this stuff back yet. So let me jump to the defense of Matt and kind of like, pull the wolves off a little bit as a mediator.
Wouldn't that be?
Wouldn't that
be the?
I mean, it's the sharpest PR move for sure.
Yeah,
Chauncey, Jesus, man.
Right. The plot twist though of Lynn is the ally that Berkey needed in this game.
Well,
not needed, but
it's for sure. It's for sure the sharpest PR move. But then I think alternatively, there is the attempt at bantering the way that she's accustomed with me, where it's we just kind of trade jabs back and forth. That's very unlikely to fly. I'll just stonewall that. Like I'm not really interested in much of anything. Honestly, like there's just a good chance that this is the most boring version of me on stream, and I hate that because I feel like I get this. I don't want to say it's a bad rap, but I feel like I get attacked a lot for like not being more boisterous on stream and not like more vocal or whatever. But like when games are fun, I'm very fun. When games are dry, I'm not going to be some like gregarious guy who brings out the personality in 6 robots.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
I just have to focus on my hands and play well. In this particular instance, I have no desire to talk. Right. It's like, I just have no interest whatsoever in entertaining this sort of back and forth. I think we've all said what we wanted to say. And at this point, like 4 people trying to drag me in a public space is just going to kind of get stonewalled from me. Yeah. And like, I'm there to beat you guys out of a lot of money, and I hope that happens.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, they're there to play poker. Right? You're there to play poker. We're there to watch poker.
Well, no one
is there. There's a side show.
I promise you, this is going to be record numbers for Poker Go.
Yeah,
and no one is going to be there for the poker.
Yeah,
you might see like a very sharp decline if there isn't actually much table talk.
I think the poker is going to go hand in hand with the banter, right? Because it's like, if you get buried, then who knows what happens. But if you get up a lot,
I'll get some chirping chips, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like chirping chips are a real thing, right? And whoever has that lead, and somebody whoever is at the table takes the lead and starts crushing, they're going to be the ones in charge of all the banter and all the chirping and all the insults.
Give me some cranberries. I might get some wind in my sails. We might do a little talking.
I'm rooting for you, Burke. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. That's going to do it for us today. I got to get out of here. I have to do an interview and just repeat everything that I just fucking said for High Stakes Poker. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We will be back tomorrow at our normal time, noon. Don't forget that this game is going to be live streamed. It's the only one of the High Stakes Poker season that is live streamed. So that's 3 p.m. over at Poker Go. I'm sure that there are people doing spaces and watches and all kinds of fun shit. So
3 or 2 p.m.
I believe it's 3, but maybe it's 2.
Because you said you start at 1.
We start at 1, but I think it's a 2-hour delay.
Okay, gotcha.
Don't quote me on that though. Make sure you don't miss a single bit of the action. Show me a little love in the chat over there. We appreciate you guys so much.
Pirates won. Why not you?
Yeah, why not me? Thank you guys so much for supporting us. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think the outcome of today's game is going to be. And we'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you guys then.
Peace.